I think whatever you pursue in life, you need to have a clear understanding of what the rules of the game are and who you're playing against. I live in Alabama, and we have a very successful college football team, the University of Alabama. It's coached by Nick Saban, and Nick has won more national championships than anybody. And I think it's because he understands the game, and then more importantly, he understands his opponent. I don't think enough of us look at the investment in Wall Street, in stocks, and understand the game we're playing. I think we believe that all we have to do is pick the right stocks, and we'll do okay. And we dismiss that we have an opponent, and that opponent is the Wall Street establishment. And until you understand how they play and how big and strong they are, you can't win. You can't beat them. And so that's why I approach investing differently. That's why I run my YouTube channel differently, because I think I've realized I can't win at this game if I play by the rules they do. And that's what I want to explore with you today and give you some insights as to how you might want to change your game in order to beat your opponent. So stick with me. We're going to dig a little deeper into this and see if we can come out with some knowledge on the other side.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
Okay, I think the first thing that is most important is to recognize that who your opponent is. It's not me, and it's not John and Jane, the retail investor. Your opponent is the establishment, the Wall Street establishment. In particular, beyond that, the hedge funds. These are the people who are going to do 80% of the trades today, and they're going to do it in milliseconds. That's not the game you're playing. So you need to take yourself out of that competition. Well, how do you do that? Well, again, understand how they score their game. They work on a quarterly basis. Starts in January the 1st, the first quarter goes through the end of March, and that's where they are working towards. That's where the score is kept at the end of the quarter. Because again, that's how they're investing their clients' money, and that's how those people who are in charge of the investing make their money. They get paid a bonus. They don't have their own money in the game. For the most part, they're investing other people's money, and based on how well they do it, they make bonuses. And those bonuses can be anywhere from probably $10,000 to $1 million. So if you understand that, you will recognize that you don't stand a chance playing against them. They have computers, they have algorithms, they have the ability to look into your orders and your stop loss orders and then manipulate the market to achieve their objective. And what again is their objective? To get their quarterly bonus. So if you so you have to change the game. Now you can do that. You might think you can do it by doing day trading and swing trading. And if you can figure out what they are doing, you can probably make some money at it for a while, until they see what you're doing, and then they come beat you at it. Now, if you think, well, that's not true, I can stay ahead of them. Doesn't the name GameStop mean anything to you? Most of the people thought that they could come in and beat the establishment at that game. It didn't happen. Most of the people walked away bloodied and beat up, and in fact, Robinhood lost 35% of its accounts as a result of the lesson that they learned. So what is the answer? I don't know that I have the answer. I know how I approach it. I approach it by extending the game. And that is to say, don't worry about what the market's going to do today, tomorrow, or this quarter, but instead concentrate on the long game. And that is to say, what is the market going to look like 2 years from now? They are not considering that. Understand that. That doesn't fit into their quarterly contest. They don't care. They aren't reading the books that I'm reading. They aren't studying the information that I'm studying, so that I'm not competing with them. I look at a stock, and again, if you've seen my channel, I'm very high on electric vehicles because I think I have an idea of where it's going. I recognize the electric vehicle business and the automobile business. There's a reason that there were, in 1929, there were, I think, 1,900 automakers in the United States, and now there's only 3. It's not a profitable business. It's a very difficult business because you've got to every year you got to change your product. You got to deal with unions. You've got to deal with competitive pricing. So where is the electric vehicle business going? I think I have an idea. So I have a part of my portfolio invested in a few stocks in that area because I think I know where it's going. More importantly, I think I understand that our economy, our world changes relative to events. And if I can identify those events that are going to cause the change, and then I can find the companies that are going to facilitate the change, all I got to do is invest them, but not get hung up as to what's happening today. A good example, yesterday or last evening, Tesla reported its numbers, and they blew the numbers out of the water. They beat expectations, but Tesla's down 4% today. Does that make any sense to you? Doesn't make any sense to me. I have a robotics medical stock that goes in with robots and does operations, and it's only about a $2 stock. It had been up higher, but the last couple of days it was up 25%, then another 25%, and then today it's down about 7%. Why? I don't know. I can't find any information. I searched the internet for any clues as to why did it go up 50% in a matter of 3 days. I don't know. I have no clue as to why. But I think it could have something to do with manipulation of the market. I think it could have something to do with an algorithm that spotted its movement, facilitated its movement, and then came in and collapsed it so that you would sell it at a lower price. Is there any justification? I don't know. I can't figure it out. But I know that 2 years from now, that surgery will be aided with robots. And so I can just ignore what's happening today, focus on the future, do some reading, find out if there's anybody who's getting ahead of them in the game, and then invest accordingly. But to think that I could beat them on a day-to-day basis, that I could predict what the price of NEO is going to be next week is ludicrous. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would I think that I could field a football team and go down to Tampa Bay and beat Tom Brady and his bunch at football? I can't do it. Why would I even try? Why would I go to the expense of spending my money to compete with them? I don't think it makes any sense. So I get a lot of criticism that, hey, you're just trying to make money and direct everybody to your Discord and charge them $10 to see your portfolio. Well, yesterday I showed you my portfolio in its entirety. So if that's what you want, you just got it. No, I think I'm beginning to learn that this, YouTube community is a community who aren't willing to do the work, who aren't willing to think things through and say, how can I gain an advantage? And then recognize that some 26, 28-year-old who watches other YouTube people and reads other things, it can beat the establishment. I'm sorry, I just don't see where you come to that conclusion. So if the way I go about it doesn't fit your program, if you think I'm ridiculous, a clown, I was called a clown because I said, and I pictured myself with billionaires and said, I want to become a billionaire. And I was called a clown. And then I was told that I'm no longer giving good factual information, that everything is anecdotal. I'm sorry. You need to go somewhere else. Go to Mo. He'll tell you what Neo's going to sell for. He'll tell you what's that other California EV company that is a SPAC. And again, there were 1,900 car companies in 1929. Don't believe these people are going to survive. It's not a profitable business. Tesla is not a car company. Figure it out. It's a tech company. You need to be investing in tech, not in electric vehicles. Okay. As you might tell, your comments are getting to me, but on the other hand, I'm responding to them. I want to help you. I have 3 objectives here. Help you make good investment decisions. And good investment decisions are not short-term decisions because you can't win at that game. You're playing against a giant. You're David and Goliath. And unless you got one hell of a slingshot, you don't stand a chance. So I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm a retired financial advisor. I've seen people beat up in this game. Understand, you can't beat them. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.